The other issue, I find, honestly, and again, I'm sorry if anybody gets offended for that, but the issue is the way Islamic ethics is taught for us. It's virtue, not virtue-based, it's virtue-immersed kind of teaching. When we have our codes of ethics, just open any code of ethics in any Muslim country. It's fine. I do appreciate virtue ethics. It's good to be a virtuous person. A lot of ayat and hadith urging us as Muslims to be of good manners. But when we talk to our students, you have to be patient, be smiling, be kind, be polite, be whatever. Anything, you have to be a perfect, you have to be angel on earth. It doesn't work like that. When the issue is, when they're medical students, especially in the first years, they put very high standards for themselves. They expect us, themselves, and us as clinicians, when they got to the hospital, you should be angel walking on earth. You are not allowed to feel angry. You are not allowed to feel hungry even, because basically if a patient sees you eating like any normal human being, by the way, we need to eat to survive. But the patients get offended. If you have to make a phone call, then people get offended. Then, because why do we feel offended? Because although it's a kind of normal human activity that most of the people on this planet need. Why? Because we were based that we have to wear very high standards. You should be always devoted. You have all your life, all your time to the patients, and you have to be perfect all the time. Nobody can really rise to that standard. We can strive to reach it. That's fine. But when we put this as a standard, what happens is our students, junior graduates, they go to the school, to the hospitals, and feel the difference. That doctors are humans. Doctors sometimes tell jokes, and guess what? They laugh sometimes, and they get angry sometimes. They get offended. They leave. They feel tired, so they feel like, oh, this is not a good doctor. I'm not going to be a good doctor ever. Why? Because the definition of a good doctor was too high. The bar was really too high for anyone to achieve. And this is one thing perhaps we can later on in the discussion. So this approach, again, made me uncomfortable when we devote most of our teaching and present this as Islamic ethics. This is one thing. Here, then came the rescue. Two persons that I wish they were here, Prof. Kasuri and Sheikh Khalid bin Abdulrahman al-Shayr. They saved my life, basically, because they, in a way, gave me the link, the missing link between what I've learned and the Islamic approach. If we're talking about Sharia, then we're talking about 4 components. Al-Aqidah, al-Ibadat, al-Muamalat, and al-Akhlaq. Akhlaq is an integral part of this shape. If we use the same methodology used by al-Fuqaha to analyze, to interpret, and to reach a certain fatwa or a ruling about this particular aspect, why not we introduce the same approach to ethics? And to be honest, the way al-fuqaha have developed al-fiqh, and specifically usul al-fiqh, for the last 300 and 400 years, is way, way, way more advanced than any other Western philosopher. And I'm being neutral here. When you see that how Shatibi did, how Imam Shafi'i did, and all these great scholars did about thinking about things, it's not the matter of halal and haram. And this is one thing that I feel really annoyed, if you like. When you boil it down, all the Islamic ethics on all our religion, and haram, why should I care how did they think about it? No, we should care. Because basically, you will, I would say that you will respect your religion more, you respect your scholars more. And again, I will show you how we managed to introduce this approach into real life. I started to kind of visualize and represent these concepts in something that is similar to, in a way, the way we are taught in proper medical education, the factual kind of thinking. So they want something that they can visualize, they can memorize, they can list. For whatever ruling that we hear, for whatever fatwa that you encounter, whether in clinical practice, medical practice, healthcare, and in our normal life. If you like the 4 principles, you'll love the 5 and 5, or 5 at 5, or 5 plus 5 approach that we have introduced. The first 5 are the 5 goals of Sharia. So basically, if you are encountered with any problem, moral problem, ethical problem in your practice, if you want to come to a conclusion to it, instead of just arguing or perhaps saying opinions about things, or perhaps copy and paste kind of Western tool or framework, what we do is let's think about it from our approach, using our own tools that have been used for the last 300 years, I would say. And we apply that so that it's not that, it will not be that theoretical as well. So there are goals that the Sharia is trying to achieve, and there are also means through which these goals are achieved. The first 5 are the 5 goals of Sharia. The second 5 are the 5 major fiqhi principles. Under each of these major fiqhi principles, there are kind of sub-principles. And by the way, they can fit within, I can tell you for sure, that they can fit and they can help you in analyzing literally any moral or ethical problem that you can encounter in practice. And we'll see an example at the end of my talk. So the first 5 were the 5 goals of Sharia, and now the second 5. And again, as I told you, that medical students love things that have numbers and lists. This is the second list. There's قاعدة القصد أو النية, قاعدة اليقين, قاعدة الضرر, قاعدة المشقة, قاعدة العرف. And under each of those, there are some sub-principles that you can use and utilize in analyzing the ethical issues and the moral problems that we encounter in our practice. And again, the students felt in a way comfortable because I'm presenting to them ethics in a way that has a lot of tables, a lot of diagrams, and in a way it's easier to remember and to utilize as well, hopefully.